Okay, here we are, January 1st, 2020. It's a nice day today. I'm going to go restock all the trail cams with batteries and cards. I should have done it 3 weeks ago, but we all know how that is. Only so much time and energy. But the new year is starting off nice. Beautiful day, so hopefully we'll get somebody. It'd be nice if at least double wide survived, because I know the other 2-3-year-olds did not survive. Let's see how things are looking here. Hey guys, Kapper here and welcome back. Let's take a tour of the property, check in on food plots, and see if there's any decent bucks that I'm getting on camera still worth pursuing here in the last few weeks of the season. Unfortunately, I think all 3 of the identified 3-year-olds have been terminated. One of them, the gnarly buck, I harvested by design. It was a cull buck. Fraggle Rock, who I passed a couple times, was an absolutely beautiful 3-year-old buck. I do know that the neighbors harvested him. And double wide, I haven't had a single picture of him since hunting season, and he was a very, very local buck. I'm gonna guess he got taken probably in the public forest. So let's take a look at what deer are left, how the property looks, and if this one mature buck that I have identified is worth even going out after, or maybe should I let him go another year. It's really hard to do this when the neighbors aren't on the same page as I am, but that's just the reality no matter where you are at. Okay, so this plot, this is what I call my original micro plot. This is the first one that I have cut in the woods when we bought this property, and I fear that there's all this swamp weed taking it over already. I replanted everything in clover and chicory, and all of these lower food plots, there's only a couple of them really. There's 3. They get taken over by this swamp weed. It looks kind of like clover, but it is just voracious, and it's really, really hard to get rid of. But let's see if we got anything on camera on this plot. The deer are still hitting all of the plots, and they have grown quite a bit here in the last 2 weeks of warm weather. But the deer just clobber them and just knock them right back down. This broken tine buck, he's been pretty visible. He'll probably be a decent one next year, but let's move on to the next one, which is another micro plot hidden deep in the forest here, which I have not even hunted this one this year, and it's the same story. It looks like there's this swamp weed that's trying to take this one over. Even during the winter, the swamp weed grows all through the winter, and it makes it extremely challenging. Okay, this watering hole, which was I think the first one I dug with the Coyote tractor, was getting really low, and I had to reroute the water again because it found its way out. So now I rerouted the water back into it, so that's kind of why it's cloudy, because it's taken a lot of new water back into it. So we'll see if I gotta fix this one up this spring or not. Okay. All right, we got the neighbor boys. What do you guys got? Show me something. Wow, beautiful. Good work, man. It's good to know we got someone else trapping. Congratulations. Okay, so here's the brand new road. You can see we got a couple of little washouts on the loose stuff on the side, but overall it held up pretty good through the kind of the heavy rains that we've got. Looking forward to getting gravel on this, and I'm going to put gravel on the sides here just a little bit over the edge, which is going to help hold these washouts in the future. So let's continue on. I'll show you some nice bucks here coming up that have survived, which is, I guess, the good news of this property tour. Oh yeah, real quick before I get to the bucks, look at these white pines. The deer have destroyed them, and we were checking this switchgrass, myself and Phil. There's another white pine. Hopefully a few of the white pines survived. I mean, I knew that deer loved rubbing on them, which is partly why I planted them, but I might need to get a little bit bigger ones next time. So hopefully they'll survive. Anyways, now let's get into the bucks and see how things look. Okay, so the first bit of good news is this young buck right here survived. If you remember, this is the buck that was actually swimming in the pond after the doe. He's a really young one. He could be a 1.5. I've seen him this big before. Most likely though a 2.5. But even next year he's gonna have to be a shooter because he just won't survive around here most likely, unless I can get all of my neighbors on board, which would be really nice because we could really grow some nice bucks. Anyways, let's see what else we got going on. Okay, so this right here, this is the only real mature buck. He's at least 4 years old. Definitely a mature buck, a really nice mainframe 8. And I'm pretty sure this is the same buck that I videotaped here in my neighbor's field during the hunting season. He's kind of been showing up on the opposite end of our property towards the west. So I don't know if I'm going to take a try at this buck or not and sit a few times, but I guess we'll see what's going to happen. Okay, got a little bobcat action mixed in here. Beautiful cat. So the next buck here is this another 2.5-year-old, very nice looking buck. He survived, which is really good news. I haven't seen much of this buck though before, but I got a bunch of pictures of him now hanging around, obviously even in daylight. This was only a few days ago. So yeah, I mean, I'm not going to hunt this buck, but he'd be a great one for next year. But unfortunately, I'm trying to get 4-year-old bucks, which, there again, you guys who do this know the frustrations if your neighbors aren't on board with you trying to grow 4-year-old bucks or more. Okay, and here's another really, really nice mainframe 8-point. I don't recognize this one, so he's coming in late season, I guess, which is good for our food plots, even though there's minimal food available right now. He'll be a dandy next year, but even would be more of a dandy in 2 years. And then here's one more just mainframe 2-year-old 8-point, just kind of straight up, nothing unique, but yet a different buck. So I mean, looking ahead, things are looking okay, but man, if we were all on the same page, they could be looking much better for all of us. Here's another skinny kind of mainframe 8-point young one. So I appreciate you guys being on board. Don't forget to hit the like button, and if you're new, subscribe if you want to follow all of our land management adventures and our country living fun. I'm going to close it out here with a couple of coyotes, and I'll catch you on the next go around. Thanks for sticking with us. Kapper out.